Dirty trucking, dirty trucking. After I got the invoices, I posted those invoices. I did a video of the invoices because I want you to see. Just in case any change is made, you remember the amount on the invoices. So there's some corrections I got to make. I see what's going on here. That 140.52, they had already stolen from me from the bank. That was the other disputed amount they had to contact Huntington Bank about that popped up on my account out of nowhere. $367.55, and then 140.52 popped up on my account out of nowhere. I disputed both. The dispute of the 140.52, when you put in a dispute, the bank gives you a temporary credit of that amount while they do the investigation. I received a letter January 27th, I believe that letter is dated, concluding their investigation, saying that the charges were an error and the credit will stay. So that means Hertz billed me incorrectly. And that's how I got the 140.52 back. But now they got me on a do not rent list, attempting to get the 140.52 again, claiming I owe it. And at the time I talked to her, I said, I don't owe anything. Who do I call? So I called the location. They telling me they can't look this up. I'm getting tired of that location telling me what the fuck they can't look up. When you the one that caused this. This is during the week that you changed redid my account. This is that week, that day, the day after that day. Talking about telling me what they can't look up. This location telling me they can't look this up. So, told me to contact Uber. Uber tell me they can't do anything, to contact the location. So I looked up on my account. I said, let me put in this date in Huntington Bank, see what come up. I see a Hertz payment posted on December 6th, says 140.52. So I called the DNR department back, the do not rent department. She tells me, it's like they got something to say for everything I got to say when I call back. I said, my bank shows that I paid 140.52. She said, but they took the money back. They took the money back. Banks don't take the money back. Banks has no capability of taking the money back. They can stop money being paid to the merchant. They can investigate money being paid to the merchant and credit you if the charges were invalid and get the money back from the merchant after they discover the charge was invalid. Their error. But the bank, Huntington Bank, cannot physically take money from Hertz. I'm telling you, this is an operation where they are stealing the fucking money. They're making it look like I owe them money or didn't pay them something. We talking about 5 fucking months, damn near 5 months later. No, this is a transaction for the week of 11/27th to December 5th. Talking about I kept the car 2 additional days. I don't get billed day by day. I pay a weekly rate, as you see in the previous video. All of a sudden, this story pops up out of nowhere. 3 weeks ago, it's the count on hold for maintenance. The week after that, I'm on a do not rent list. it seems to be another car on the account. But I don't see it on my app. When this other car get on here? All this time I've been talking to Uber, calling the location. When did this other car get on the account? This is somebody playing games. This is somebody playing games that work there, that has access to the computer. This invoice did not have this car on there. For them, when they print out the invoice, it has to match the car you drive off the lot with. The car you paid your whatever rate for has to match the invoice that you got in your hand. Mine don't match. So you telling me, they trying to make me believe that I paid $288 on December 5th and pulled out of there with a rental agreement with the wrong car on there, and been driving around all this time with a rental agreement in the car with the wrong car on there. No, I didn't. It had the right car on there. Because I remember that day. I do remember, to close my account out, he told him, I don't know this guy's title. I don't know if he's a supervisor there. I think he's like he got a little title there. He was working with the young man on the computer because the young man didn't know how to do that kind of transaction, to transfer all the account over to a new account. So he was standing there going step by step what he had to do. And I do remember him telling him he had to go get, my memory is good. Now, I was talking, thinking, rambling, angry because I'm sitting up here. I didn't work today because of this shit. I got to get my rent paid. They're always coming up with some bullshit when I need to get my rent paid. I've been talking about moving, trying to get out of here, and they be doing everything to stop me from fucking moving. Now you want to sit up here and do something to try to make me homeless, get evicted, and this is your errors? This they error. I didn't do this shit. So I do remember him telling him he had to get a key, just get a key to put this in there to close it out because she's starting another rental contract. We need to close hers out because I reserved the car, but they got to close out. They got to use something to close out the original contract with the car I'm trying to re-reserve, if you understand that. I had the Toyota on the original contract, but they got to close it out to put my new debit card in the new account. So he had to go get the key from another car to put it in the system to close out my original contract, to start the new contract, because they couldn't do it with the same car. They had to close that account out. And to do that, by me putting in the reserve and they were honoring they doing the reservation, you had to show me getting another car. That's what I remember him doing. I also remember him telling them, now that you got it up, everything's transferred over, you got to go back in and put in the vehicle that she has, which he did. I remember this. You got to put the vehicle back in. That's the only way it could get attached to my Uber account. So that's why I don't understand. I'm sitting here looking at a rental agreement with a different car on it that's not attached to the account. You trying to make me believe that he printed, and that don't make sense, and it wouldn't make sense. Because if he had left that, listen to this good. I'm telling you, they are stealing. Listen to this good. If he had left that car on there, that Bolt, whatever the fuck it was, with the Michigan license plates. If he had left that on there, it would have been attached to my account. If he had left that on there, every time I called to make a rental, when I didn't have the money in the account, and had to call and let them know the money in the account for them to go ahead and get the payment. They asks you, what is your rental record number? And when they ask you what your rental record number, this is where I'm going to catch them in the lie. When they ask you what your rental record number is, they'll pull up the car. Some of them will tell you the license plate. Sometimes I don't even have the rental record number. Normally, I don't have the rental record number. I give them that old number or whatever it is off the key. They want that number and the vehicle number. And if this had to been that Bolt car, they would be pulling that up, wouldn't they? This is not the first time I'd had to call because they weren't able to get the payment out the account, and because I didn't have the money in there, I had to put the money in there for them to go ahead and pull it. This is not the first time. They making this shit up. Somebody is deliberately doing this. I'm telling you, if that car had been on my account, that would be the car they would be pulling up when I put in the rental record number, wouldn't it? Because I can't be in possession of a rental record number that don't match the car that I'm driving in. It's impossible. So if I gave her the rental record number to the new rental record number that shows a Michigan plate Bolt car, how is she seeing the Toyota car? If the rental record I have in my hand with that rental record number says it's a Bolt car. Now, in fact, let me go get it so you can see. So I can explain this better. And we're going to go off the old rental record. I'll talk about this one. This is the rental record number. This is what they use when you call in. If they can't get the payment or you got anything about the car, they ask you for this. And if they don't ask you for that, they ask you for, I ain't even got it. I got to go get the key. The little numbers off the key to the car. Now, this is what I'm saying. When the payment wasn't in the account, they couldn't get the payment. And I had to put the money in the account. They asked me for the rental record number. I don't ever have this when I'm in the house. I just give them the number off the key. I give them that own number, whatever they call it, and the vehicle number. Then they'll mention the license plate, blah, 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 blah. If this car had been on my account, they would have been pulling it up when I gave them this rental record number. The last two times I had to call, to make the payment because I didn't put the money in the account for them to pull it at the time they pull it. When I memorized the rental record number the past 2 weeks. I'm telling you, somebody just did this. The past 2 weeks, I've had to call to get the rental car extended, and I'm giving them the rental number because I memorized it. When I memorized it, they pulls up the car. It's a Toyota. So why are you now, this week, trying to talk to me as if there was a different car on this account, which they said last week. He's seen another car on the account. No, it's not. It's been the Toyota. I remember that day clearly. I told you I paid him $288 or $289. I remember what he had to do when he went in there. He had to go get another key to make it look like I'm changing that car into a different car so he can close out the account. He had to close it out, so he had to put another car on there. So when he put the other car on there, it generated the new account so they can transfer all the information over from the old account. So he can add my debit card on there. After he did that, he had to go back in and put the current car I'm driving in because I'm keeping the same car. I'm telling you, this goddamn car that's on here wasn't on here. They're around here switching shit, playing fucking mind games, and now you trying to get $140.52 back out of me. That was an error from Hertz in the first place. It was investigated by the bank. Wait a minute, let me get the bank letter. If you don't believe me, you cover up my damn address. What that say? January 27. Juanita Morgan, thanks for contacting us about your debit card transaction. You see, it has the old card number, 6176. That's the card with the fraudulent activity. What does this say? We have completed our research and we have determined that there was an error with the transaction. The temporary credit of $140.52 issued to your account on December 8th is now a final credit. If you have other transactions in dispute, they will be addressed separately. Blah, 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 blah. Transaction dispute date. What that say? 12/5. So now, and what that say? 140.52. 12/5. So now, I want you to look at this date and remember it and listen to what the fuck I'm about to say. I told you, I think I mentioned in one of the previous videos, the date changed from when that transaction popped up on my account. I found the dispute, the date I saw the transaction popped up on my account. The day I saw it. The day I seen it on the account. I filed a dispute. How does the dispute says the date of 12/5, but my account says 12/6? The money was already posted to the account. When I saw it, it had a different date on it. And then when I saw it, I filed a dispute against it. And I remember telling the lady on the phone, I don't know where this came from. This wasn't on here. I said, I just was disputing the $367.55. Then there was some charges coming from Klarna showed up in my account. Klarna kept charging me $2 here, weird amounts. I said, I didn't order anything from Klarna. I had them investigate that. I'm not making this up. I just need to slow down and see what the fuck happening here. This is a theft operation. It's an inside person at Hertz. Somebody is able to access the bank or is accessing my bank. And you remember the video I posted when I went to the ATM and it showed my average ledger balance, my ledger balance of $2,046 and what was it, 98 cents? And I had scratched out the real amount that was in there, the available balance. And somebody on here said that amount that's pending, it'll be in it. No, that amount ain't in there. I don't even know where it came from. There's no amount on my account that even totals that. When I scroll back to the highest amount that I had in my account, it ain't even that. I'm telling you, these motherfuckers is doing this shit. This some game. Got the lottery. They do all this weird money shit When the lottery get big, it's billions. I don't know what the fuck this is, but I think I know this is what it's about. You think I'm going to be riding around here in a rental for 5 months on a balance? I ain't stupid. My bank didn't take that money back. Hertz had to give that money back because it was a disputed transaction that I filed as fraud. If it was a valid charge, Hertz would have never gave the money back, and my bank would have said it was a valid charge, like they did with the $367.55. But that was a lie. I don't know who they contacting, where they got their information from that. I didn't owe them $367.55, but they took it out my account. They posted money to my account, and I'm getting ripped off. That 140.52 just ends up in my account. You took $140.52 from me. For what? And now, 5 months later, you claim I'm on a do not rent list, and I think somebody that works there has access to Hertz computer, went through my account to see what they can come up with to explain this. That's how you end up generating this invoice for $140.52 to put it back during the week when I came in there and had to create another account. That's when they had to put that other car on there temporarily to create this account. But they went back in and put the correct car on there. You're stealing. You created a fake invoice. You put me on a do not rent list. Told me if I don't turn the car in, it's going to be towed. Then told me you reported me to a debt collector. And this day bullshit. I don't owe them nothing. This was a disputed amount. You just saw the letter from the bank where I disputed it. Hertz had to pay that money back. Hertz told me the bank took it back. No, you had to pay that money back because it was an error. You shouldn't have charged me that money. But you didn't pay the $367.55 back. Hertz is stealing my money. They are creating invoices to make it look like or justify those charges that's in my bank. And it don't make sense. There's no way in the hell you have an invoice for me saying I kept the car 2 additional days. 2 additional days, it said. My rental payment was due on Monday. I was in there on Tuesday. That's 1 day. It should have been a charge of $65 if that was correct. Then I see a minus a $215 toll fee. Where you get this shit from? What's all that on there for? Okay, 65. That's what, 130? Taxes. Okay, I see the 140.52 with taxes and all your other little fees. Okay. But the invoice says 1 day. It don't say 2. You got my old address on there. When I didn't rent the car from the old address, I rented the car from this address. Hertz is stealing my money. I'm telling you, this is a big time operation where they're able to post an amount to my account, take my money, and make it look like I owe them this money. You took my money out that account. And then 5 months later, you put me on a do not rent list, claim I owe you this money, when this was a disputed fraud charge amount. Then you tell me you reported me to debt collection and to turn the car in or it's going to be told. I'm a diamond driver. I've been paying weekly since August 14th. What the hell are they talking about? This place has stolen my money. Now you trying to re-steal money you already stole. You trying to re-steal the 140.52. Why would I be paying 140.52? Why would I be paying that amount when I just paid $288 on the 5th to extend my contract for a week? To start the new contract, rather. Why would I be paying $140? Talking about I turned the car in a couple of days later. If I don't pay them this money, they're not going to take me off the do not rent list. She was talking big time shit. Oh, yeah, I told her I can take you to court. I told her you're going to have to prove it. You know what the judge going to say? That's what this bitch said. You know what the judge going to say? Yes, I know what the judge going to say. She has the proof. You in the wrong. Pay her money she asking for. No, but that's what she said. You know what the judge gonna say? That's these foreign operators. She was foreign. I said, I'm gonna take you to court. I don't owe you shit. They trying to re-steal money that they had already stole. The bank investigated and found out it was an error. And then they trying to tell me the bank took the money back from them. The bank didn't take shit. I don't know who notated your account or what kind of information you got about that transaction. It was a fraud transaction, bitch. Fraud. What the judge gonna say about that shit? They trying to re-steal money from me. Ain't that a bitch?